we watch many other leaders overseas go to China, but he's making people go to San Francisco to meet him there.
Taking down the Chinese Communist Party and realizing the infiltration of Xi is nonpartisan. I think this is the consensus. But why we still see this kind of meeting? First of all, of course, Xi has a lot of connections and control over here in comparison to, for example, Texas, right? So he will be feeling safer to come to California. But on the American side, I think America still needs time to decouple from the CCP because CCP, like I said, still have their hands on $7 trillion of investment. And we still need time to move out all of our factories and companies. And that's accelerating. Last month, we saw for the first time there's a deficit in foreign direct investment in China. So the trend is fixed. The trend is already certain that the United States is going to decouple from China, decouple from the Chinese Communist Party. And in time, there will be an announcement saying that the CCP and Xi is an illegitimate government. They do not represent Chinese people, but still Xi this time to come, first of all, to show all the pro-CCP elites that he still have the power, he's still in power. And second, he also wants to show all these leaders from the new axis of evil, like Putin and other people, that he's in control and his alliance is going to be strong because he has a lot of authorities in the United States.
Right now, I feel like a proud big brother. We're watching y'all in action, and y'all have really done a great deal in informing and educating many online about what the CCP is and how detriment it is to the United States. And to see the amount of people behind you, that just shows me you didn't fly all those people over there. You didn't fly those people from New York. So that just shows me you have a reach that many people don't even realize here in the United States. Am I right?
Exactly. Like I said, we have millions of supporters around the globe, and locally we have today, I think over 100 show up just in San Francisco, over 100 people. And Wayne, like I hope you were here. I hope you can come here and feel the energy. They're energetic, they're determined, and they're happy. They're loving each other, hugging each other, and greeting. Just like when we meet each other, we feel like we're just brothers and sisters because we have the same belief of taking down the Chinese Communist Party. And more people are showing up. And also, it's a big contrast, right? Because now on my left hand side, just down the block, like everything's blocked up, right? Everything, they put up the barricades, the Secret Service vehicles, the police officers. I heard like there are like 4 or 5 blocks just around the venue are all blocked up. And the whole street is clean. There's no homeless. There's no people. 95% of the offices and shop are closed down. And I heard that there are 2 lanes of the highway going to be closed down just for Xi. And you can see like how much power and influence Xi has on the United States. Right? At that point, like we always talked about, that the infiltration and his power, his influence on American soil, because this our taxpayer are paying for this. And this problem, like I think the reporter has been saying, okay, we need to pay $10 billion to solve the homeless issue. Right now, like she's coming, and all of a sudden, this all the problems solved. I wonder, like, if they already had the capability to solve all these problems, but they just wouldn't do it, or the people are just not important enough to get this. It's an empty city, but I feel the energy is very good, and the Chinese dissidents are joining different groups, are like protesting in different places. I think APEC meetings are going to happen throughout the week, and also I think Xi and Biden is going to meet in different spots. I think one is Folio Museum, their media coverage, and also protests going on there. And we have a big stage. We have backgrounds here. In this afternoon, we're going to have live stream on Twitter and Gather. It's going to be a big show.
I saw earlier where Biden publicly said that he didn't want to decouple from China. That's not his reason for meeting with Xi. He just wants to make things better between both countries. And the people on the ground, how do they feel about that?
We strongly discourage further cooperation with Chinese Communist Party because American people and also the authority needs to understand that the CCP does not actually represent us. You can see the numbers, you can see the people beside me, not just our group. Another group is just beside us. There are people here. And also I heard 300 to 500 people going to show up as we speak in front of the Chinese consulate to show that they do not agree with the idea that Chinese Communist Party or Xi can represent Chinese people. And now Xi has been purging all the other members, all the other high-ranking politicians in Chinese Communist Party. Now it's becoming Xi-CP. I believe American authority has already starting to understand that. Get rid of Xi, then we'll solve like 99% of the problem.
You talk about Xi's influence on the American government so he can make sure I want the streets this way. I want this way. I want this way. Yes, sir. But Have you noticed any suspicious characters? Like we talked about secret police in past episodes. Have you seen anybody shady look?
Yesterday, we're setting up, checking the spot, and a lot of different Chinese nationals just approach and ask, "Oh, what are you doing here?" So some of them just even like approach us really closely, makes us feel a little bit uncomfortable. And also across the street at the same spot are members standing. There are a small group with 20 people just holding banners and flags and wreaths. Welcome Xi Jinping. Let's stay there for 4 or 5 hours. And people's been coming over and shooting pictures and videos. But I'm fearless. I believe they're fearless as well, right? Because we're together. We know we are the majority. We know the majority of Chinese people, Chinese dissidents, the whistleblowers, and also American people agree with us, support us. Like you guys support us 100%. So that's the source of our courage.
You can see the influence that Xi has on his employee, Joe Biden, just by the fact that the meeting's in San Francisco. We do this in Washington, D.C., not San Francisco. That's because of proximity to China, in my opinion. I mean, I would imagine that. On some details of this meeting, I'm reading some things, Roy, that the U.S.-China joint climate action is back on track. Have you heard anything about that aspect of this?
Yeah, I think there are going to be different talks on different topics, but I believe none of the topics going to be relevant to the interest of American and Chinese people, because she is coming for different purposes. First, she wants to show the pro-CCP elites that he still has the influence on the United States, on this administration. He's doing that right now, and he's accomplished a lot of things, because look at the environment, look at San Francisco, what San Francisco has done for him, like all the checkpoints, all the Secret Service vehicles, the highway patrols everywhere, just coming for him. And also, I believe Chinese consulates have been spending huge money for all these Chinese associates and PR controlled by the CCP, and they're waving flags on the street. And even there's a special entertainment team arranged for Xi Jinping, like lion dance performance. They were marching the street, waving those, costume, have a lion dancing equipment, and beating those gans and drums and making noises. And even they're playing the song of the Ode to the Motherland, the CCP patriotic song from the PRC. We can hear it like 2 blocks from the spot where Xi just passed by and entered the hotel. So I believe whatever like they're going to talk about, like in the museum this afternoon or later in the venue, I think it's not going to be relevant to the Chinese people, because remember, Xi is controlling 1 billion Chinese slaves. I think all the deals they're making up, I think the American authority has realized that he cannot represent Chinese people again. He's not holding up any deal they come up with, like CCP never holding their promises, right? They always break their promises. Remember last time when President Trump is talking to CCP delegates in 2020, they're still talking about the trade deal, and they strike a good deal, and then all of a sudden they unleash the virus. Look what happened in the following 2 years, and none of the deal ever be any relevance anymore, because the world's totally changed after 2020.